beautiful bouffants. Welcome to the podcast. My name's Rob, and I'm with Elia and Diane. Before we begin, I just want to quickly say that, hey, you should totally subscribe to us if you haven't already, because it helps us out, and it'll inspire us to make even more content. Actually, let us know what you want in the comment section below, because we're working out some ideas right now, and your help is always appreciated, so thank you very much. Hi, guys.
Yo, what up? What up? What's a bouffant?
It's like that tall hairstyle that they had in like have you ever seen like I Love Lucy or anything like that, old classic TV or anything like that? It's like
an American thing.
It is an American thing, yeah. It's like a traditional woman hairstyle where it's all like bunched up on top. Yeah, you know.
You were calling people that just now?
I did call that because I was in the alliteration, and I couldn't think of another word after beautiful with a B. That wouldn't be. Yeah, bouffant.
Rude. Yeah.
I thought it was a Pokemon.
It could be.
Bouffalant.
Bouffalant.
You know Bouffalant?
No.
Yep. Yeah. Kind of looks like the Karen hairstyle at some point.
Yeah, kind of. Sometimes it could be.
Wait.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have a bouffant. I barely have hair.
Oh, Pokemon has that hair.
There you go.
Oh, really?
That's probably why it's called that then.
That's probably why.
Almost.
Yeah.
Oh.
But we're not talking about Pokemon today, are we, Rob?
No. Well,
Bouffalant picture.
you never know what
For
you
the
can
hairstyle
find.
and the picture.
Yeah.
What? No
All right,
way.
here's the Pokemon. Glad we're all here for the bouffant Pokemon.
Yeah.
Wow,
Anyway.
I learned something new today.
And you know what other people are going to learn today? People are going to learn about the nightlife in Japan. That's what they're going to learn today.
Nightlife in Japan?
Nightlife in Japan. You know,
Dude.
a lot of people are not quite sure what happens at night in Japan. And we might have, you know, grazed past it a couple times here and there, but I want this episode to kind of be about talking about that more. Because there are a lot of things to do, and we all have our different and unique experiences seeing these things and hearing about these things, and figured we'd let people at home, or wherever you are, know about it as well. Because it's...
In the bathroom.
It's interesting.
The gym.
Yeah. Closet.
Okay. Yeah. I do want to say one thing. All right. Nightlife in Japan is quite unique in some regards, because even if you don't like to go clubbing or go to bars, there's always something to do, right? You don't have to go drinking. You don't have to go partying. There's, if you like food, there's a lot of that too. You know, special food that you only eat at night, for example, or there's a different kind of culture at night, which you can experience, which is quite different from daytime. So honestly, I would definitely recommend the nightlife. Even if you don't party, there's a lot of stuff to do. A lot to do. Yeah. One thing we can pop off with is drinking in public, which is quite normal in Japan.
Sure, we can walk around with a drink.
Yep. Yeah, you don't have to cover it. You don't have to hide it. You can walk and drink, and you can sit on the sidewalk and drink. You can whatever.
Drink on the train.
Yeah, please don't do that. That's rude. But but you can definitely drink on the train if you would so like to. But most people give you weird looks, or be like, you know, covering their nose because your beer smells too much, whatever. But yeah, it's like I've done it before. You go into a like kombini and you get a drink, and boom boom, you're finished. You walk around and drink.
Yeah.
Easy.
Alcohol here sold at any time of day. Unlike Texas and other
That's true. Yeah.
countries.
A lot of other places like shut down after a certain time. As far as like they might be open, but they'll say like, oh, we're not serving alcohol anymore or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think for Texas, there's a difference in time between beer and liquor. I think liquor stopped selling at 9 p.m. and beer was midnight or 1 or something like that. It's probably not exact. Yeah. And people would, like my friends and stuff, they would stress like, we gotta go now at house parties. Like, get beer now. Rush.
Yeah, there was usually that last
that
minute
Walmart
like, beer rush to get to the store before they close. Or...
Yeah, but in Japan, convenience stores, you know, 7-Eleven, Family Mart, Lawson, and more, they're open 24 hours, and you can get even whiskey, like liquor.
Mhm.
sake.
Yes. Yeah. You can get
Soju,
vodka,
Wine.
like a lot of different.
anything,
Yeah.
wine
Yeah.
coolers, beer,
Yeah.
anything. And
Like,
not only that, but even some vending machines
Yeah.
have
Yes.
alcohol as well. There's one
Usually
here.
beer, though. Usually beer.
Usually beer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like
Sweet.
liquor, yeah, convenience stores are your place to go. If no supermarkets are open, if it's early enough and you can go to a supermarket, I would recommend that because they have a wider range of selection. Like you can get a lot of different kinds of whiskeys and whatever. Usually the convenience stores have maybe 2 or 3 different types of each. You can still get by drinking. You won't be left out if you don't like beer or you don't like whiskey or whatever. You can definitely find something to drink. Also, something that's quite interesting is they do have these mixed alcohol drinks in Japan, like cider, like really high quality ones. Those are quite good. So if you don't really like
the
beer,
fruity.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Like if you don't like
Porter
beer, you
wine?
don't like whiskey. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was trying to think of the English word for that. Is that a wine cooler?
Kinda. I'm not really sure what they're called, but also the Zima. It's a brand. You guys might know what it is. The alcohol thing.
Zima?
Zima, I think it is. If I'm not misremembering.
Z? I'm just kidding.
Z.
Z.
Um,
I've seen a picture of this
Yeah.
somewhere. Maybe I've seen
I
it
don't.
before.
I don't think it's. Is it Japanese? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think it's. It's Coors
I think
Brewing
it's-
Company. It's from the U.S. But
it's from Coors?
Japan got it in 2008, and they've owned it since then. That's probably why.
Yeah. It looks like it's stores here.
Yeah.
Really?
So, apparently,
Oh.
we just learned something new, guys.
Japan also has these
Coors.
these cans, alcoholic beverages referred to as Strong Zero, which
Yes.
come in many different flavors.
Mhm.
They're very strong. They're like 9% alcohol, and it's like
Yep.
the shape of a Arizona iced tea can. Like it's kind of like
Yeah.
that kind of feel
Yeah.
to it, right?
The longer can, the bigger can.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're pretty big.
Yeah.
They're not great. I've tried a
Mm.
couple, and there's only been one that I kind of could tolerate, I should say.
Mhm.
It's a very strong like alcohol like aftertaste to it, which kind of
Yeah.
like it's not the most comfortable. But if you're trying to go out for the purposes of being drunk, I mean that will do it
Yeah.
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Drink responsibly, of course. But yeah, you know.
Of course. But a lot of Japanese people do like it. They drink it like it's like nothing, like normal.
I
Yeah,
know.
I see people drink that on the train. That's what
yeah.
I see on the train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard it tastes
Mm.
not amazing.
Yeah.
It's not.
I've never really liked it.
I mean, I think I've tried it before too, and it was not amazing for me.
It's not
I
great.
know.
I can say this. I'm not a big alcohol drinker in general, right? I don't really drink alcohol that much, and Rob is probably the same. But we do drink when Rob and I go. Here we go again. Eat yakiniku. Yeah. I think that's the best time for me to drink because that's how I pre-party, right? I go to a yakiniku place. I eat. I drink some beer, and then you're feeling a bit good. Then you can go out later and continue on with your life.
It's part
and
of
do
the
whatever.
experience. Plus, you're eating a lot, so it's kind of balancing it out. You're not
Yeah.
getting like too messed up or anything like that.
Yeah.
And drinking for the sake of getting messed up is not really like, a thing like anymore. At least,
Yeah.
well, it is a thing in general with people, but
Yeah.
but for me
Mhm.
personally, I can't do it by
Yeah.
myself. I have to be with at least one other
No.
person who is also drinking, and there's usually
Yes.
food involved because if there isn't, then like
Yeah.
what, So it's
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
there's a lot of conditions to have to be.
Yeah. And I do know, Diane, you wanted to, we've talked about this before, but people standing outside convenience stores.
Mhm.
Yes. So I have a friend that always talks about it, telling me I should do it too. So
Hmm.
I don't know what other cities, but for sure Shibuya at least. And there's a specific family mart. So there's many convenience. But there's one specific family mart where like foreigners and Japanese people, they gather there, like a big crowd, and they just get drinks and they stand there. They crowd around and stand there, and it's like a hangout, a huge hangout. So you can go meet other foreigners or other Japanese people.
Yeah.
And
you can make friends. It's great.
Yeah. You're gonna need friends to enjoy nightlife in Japan. I mean, you could go alone, but then if you're as a guy, you might look creepy if you're just gonna come up to a girl drunk or a group of girls drunk. If the girls are drunk enough, then maybe it's okay. But I've seen a lot, not only myself rejecting, but I've seen a lot of rejections. And I'm like, oh my god, stop.
Especially
the guy's always alone. Why?
Yeah.
And they're coming up creepily, but they're like, hey, let's go somewhere. That's not how you approach
don't do
girls.
that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
And
Also, if you're a foreigner, do remember that most Japanese people don't speak English, so they might be intimidated. It might not be you specifically, but if you come on really strong, Japanese people are very conservative. So do remember that those 2 points exist in Japan.
The majority of them are, for sure.
Yeah. So if you find a girl or a boy attractive and you want to go talk to them, just go easily. Don't rush up to that person because they might be like, whoa, something's going on, right? They might think you want something from them. Just be like, hey, how are you? You want to get a drink or blah blah. That's fine. Yeah, but convenience stores in general, like I think in Shibuya, Shinjuku, maybe in Akihabara even, if you're there, people stand outside, like not exactly outside the door, but like to the side because they let people go through and whatever, right? And I know the one you're talking about, Diane, there's like a big plaza right outside the convenience store. That's where people stand because it's easy access to the convenience store.
Probably. Like, these will stay past last train.
Yeah, definitely. 4 a.m. even. Like they'll be there. You can make a lot of good friends there. That's a part of the nightlife that you don't see in other countries because drinking in public is not allowed.
They continue
which is cool.
and continue. And just out of experience and working at the bar and stuff, I've seen new things I've never seen before. If you plan to miss last train or not, like missing it on purpose or missing on accident, there's some things you can do to continue your night or to end your night, I guess. If you want to end, end as in like sleep.
End your night.
Why does it always come back to death with Diane?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
There are internet cafes and love hotels that are open 24 hours. So if you need a place to crash and you don't feel like being that person to lay down on the street, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, please don't lay down. The police will grab you if you lay down on the street.
I've seen it in Shinjuku.
Yes.
I've seen a guy try to fight the police in Shinjuku while he was like throwing up, and it was just disgusting.
Japanese people get away with it a lot easier than foreigners, so please don't do it.
True. They're gonna ask for your passport, your resident card, and you're in trouble. Even
and if you don't have your passport with you, please don't sleep on the floor. If you think you're getting way too drunk, do remember you're in a foreign country which have different rules. So but you do whatever you think is fun.
As another option of some place to go or something to do, there is also karaoke.
Yes.
People go
there. Some
there.
people sing there too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Some people go there. They drink, they sing, they have a good time. Some people crash there. They they rent out their spot or whatever, and they go to sleep. Maybe might have talked about it in the past and stuff, but we keep mentioning how last train. Japan's public transportation system shuts down after a certain time, usually midnight. Like I haven't seen a train past 1 a.m. anywhere in Japan.
If you're like really, really close, depending.
It depends how close you are to your destination.
It could be like 12:30, 12:40.
But
I think 12:01 is the latest. Yeah. That's somewhere. Yeah.
You'll never find anything 2 a.m. period. Like you just won't.
No.
And so it stops and it doesn't start till like 5 a.m. Diane? Usually
4:35. Yeah, somewhere there.
My first train is 5:04 from Ginza. Here.
So there's there's a few hours that it's that you have that commitment, right? If you're going to be out, you're out. And you're probably catching the first train back. This might not be a problem for some, but of course there are a lot
Yeah,
of people.
if you have money,
Mhm.
there's taxis. Taxis are always
Yeah.
available, pretty much. But they kind of start dying down after first
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
I've noticed from my experience.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah, but they can be really expensive.
Yeah, some of you might be like, hey, but Rob, what about the buses? The buses, unfortunately, don't go everywhere and also shut down at some times.
Haven't used
So
one forever.
there's like these night buses, you know what I mean? Like they only travel within Tokyo's center, kind of, just to bring you from one little location to another. So if you're living in Japan or your hotel is outside the city center, taxi. That's why, or you're gonna have to walk. Unfortunately, the first time I went to Japan, my hotel was in Ueno, and we were in.
We're near there.
Yeah, we were somewhere else. I don't want to bring up names and stuff because I don't want to. Yeah, whatever. I had to walk for like an hour and a half to get back to the hotel, and this was like at 3 a.m. Was it fun? Yes, because I went into every combini I could find and grab a beer.
I like
and
that.
kept
That's
walking.
an adventure. That's positive. Nice.
You grab a beer. You're with your friends. You walk. You meet some people. You talk.
Oh,
Oh, your
nice.
beer is
Especially
finished.
with
You go
friends.
into the next combini. Boom. Oh, there's a McDonald's or there's like a ramen shop. You pop in. You eat. Boom. You
that's the
continue.
best.
Like it's fun, just especially if you're on vacation, have fun. Don't worry about, oh, it's 3 a.m. Who cares? Just
There,
grab
Yeah,
some
a lot of people
ramen,
freak
you know?
out when you
Yeah.
miss the last train.
yeah,
It's okay if you don't work the next day.
Yeah.
If you work
Yeah.
taxi.
the
Huh.
thing about Japan is that it's actually, for the most part, very walkable.
Yes.
It's not like the US where you actually absolutely need a car to get from point A to point B for some
Mhm.
places.
Yeah.
You can get to most places. Of course, it takes time. It might be tough
Mhm.
depending on the area. Maybe you live in an area in Japan that has more hills, so it's more of an uphill battle, right?
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
depends. But in general, like, Japan is kind of made for people to like walk around and cycle and
Yeah.
things like that. Like,
Especially Tokyo, like big cities.
Right.
Yeah.
so if you don't mind it, you're really not out of luck. You could technically get home before the first train if you want to do that walk, probably, depending on how far
Yeah.
you were. It all depends.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to say, what Diane just mentioned about, whether or not you work the next day as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
There are people that do purposely miss their last train, stay out, drink, hang out, pass out somewhere, get up, and go to work the next day. It's
Nice.
Guilty.
absolutely crazy. In my opinion, it's rough, but
I've done it.
if you can do it, that's on you. I don't recommend it, but hey,
Nope.
if that's how you
If I didn't
function,
need sleep, then I kind of would.
Yeah.
Maybe.
right?
I can tell you a fun story about that. So my friends from Sweden came to visit me when I was in Japan, and I don't want to be a party pooper. Like, no, I can't party. So of course I am. We went out, and we went to Roppongi, which is actually quite famous for quite famous for international people and people who actually speak English and stuff. A lot of the clubs have like a lot of foreigners in it, or like American, US based people who stop by. They go to Roppongi to party, and a lot of Japanese people are there. Speak English. Well, all of them speak English. That's why they go to these clubs. So that's a great place to meet Japanese people who speak English. So I definitely recommend Roppongi in general. And
those people like to
Yeah.
use that method to learn more English or
Yeah.
have their
Yeah.
chance to use
Yeah.
English.
or meet foreigners or
In
people
a
to
fun
meet
way.
Japanese people. Yeah. So in general, you'll see a lot of foreigners there, a lot of Japanese people who speak English. So it's a great place to party and hang out, especially if it's your first time clubbing in Japan and you just want to be familiar with stuff. I definitely recommend it. So anyway, story time. We partied. It was like 2-3 a.m. I lived maybe by then an hour away from Roppongi. So I went to an internet cafe, bought one of those closed, the little
Yes,
Ford.
the roof.
There's no roof on it. Like, you're not in a private
Okay,
room.
I know.
There's just they're just like tiny walls.
yes, like a
I-
cubicle.
Like a cubicle basically. I crashed there. Woke up in the morning, took a shower because you can in these places.
Yes.
Some places they have showers and stuff, whatever. You take a shower, you grab a whatever coffee, whatever on the way, boom, you're at work. And this is quite normal. So don't be like, oh, I have work, I can't do it. No, it's fine. People do that all the time. And I actually slept at work, and people are like, oh, he's so dedicated. He's such a good worker. He's working so hard. In Japanese culture, if people pass out at work, it's because they're working so hard, they get tired, so they have to sleep, they take a nap. It's quite normal.
Nothing to do with the 17 vodka shots you took the night before.
No.
It has nothing to do with that. No, it's because you showed up and you worked hard every day.
I'm a hard worker. And the thing is, I was in first because I was already sleeping at the internet cafe. It's not really comfortable in that regard. So I'm like, I'll just go to work. It was like 5 a.m. or something, 6 a.m. When I got there. And it was, oh, he's such a dedicated worker. He's early.
Yeah.
He's there. Yeah, but people can do that. Like, even I would recommend sleeping at internet cafes compared to karaoke places, because karaoke places, like, you rent for an hour or two, right? Internet cafes, you can rent like 8 hours or the whole day or like 2 days or like 5. It depends on how long you want to stay, basically. Some people will live there. Some people live in internet cafes. Like, it's normal. It's crazy.
They also have VIP rooms, which are, instead of just like a little cubicle, there's a door that you can actually close with walls that go up to the ceiling, mats on the ground, a closet, TV. Like, you could be okay. For
basically
sure.
a hotel.
Yeah, that's what I usually get.
Yeah.
Because I like the more quieter space and the privacy in my whole floor.
Also, I think privacy is more important for you than it is for me. I don't care. I'll sleep anywhere, anyhow.
That's fine. Yeah, because I did that style with no room. I was like, I'm fine. I'm a heavy sleeper. But then, like, when I'm hearing people snoring, I'm hearing people's alarm go up, I'm hearing someone throwing up. I didn't like that. And like, it was pretty still lit up, so it was harder for me to fall asleep.
They dim the lights, but they're not off. So if you're not a heavy sleeper, or if you get annoyed by the light or whatever, get the private rooms, I guess. They are a bit more expensive than the cubicles. I think I paid 2,000-3,000 yen.
It's a weekday or a weekend.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a weekday, so it was like I think I paid like 2,000-3,000 yen for the night. Not bad at all.
Can you reserve a room in advance? Is that
yes? That's what I did.
You can.
That's what I have been doing.
Yep.
Oh right, you have been doing that. Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, through the app. So some of these internet cafes, you have to have a membership before you can go in and get a room immediately. I have 2 memberships. I think one's is Diners Club. Is it orange? And you need like a plastic card. Maybe they have an app now. I'm not sure. But I use Dice now. And that one you need an app, and you have a membership like little barcode thing. You scan it every time, and you can reserve. There's many places. Dice locations are usually around Kawasaki, I think. Ikebukuro, stuff like that, Chiyogaoka. And they have like 4 different types of rooms. There's like the tiniest room that was just a chair and no lock, and there's no ceiling. The next level up would be similar. I think there is a lock from the inside, and then there's no ceiling, but you get the whole mat thing. There's a mat and a chair, I think. Mat. Sorry, no chair, a whole mat, because I slept in that one. And then the next one is a VIP room that I like, where you have a whole key you can walk outside with. And then there's 2 like computers. Oh yeah, each room has a computer. The VIP room has a computer, 2 computers, 2 sets of chargers that are like the 3-head thing for micro USB, USB-C, lightning cable, whatever. They have slippers, blankets, tissues, trash cans, oshiboris, many things. And then you can go out to get more blankets if you want. But these internet cafes, there's a whole bunch of manga there, so people, the nerds go there. The people that don't go and sleep there, they rent the smallest room to read this stuff, because they have a whole selection of that. And then the most expensive room would be the karaoke room. I've never seen that before. I don't think I need it, so.
Like, not only to sleep, but I did this when I first went as a tourist to Japan many years ago. When I got tired from walking, because my legs were killing me because you're walking all day, I used to go to these internet places and just go sit down on one of these really comfortable sofas with the massage function and just sit there for like like 30-40 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
Just
it's a good idea.
relax. Yeah, you grab a book.
After a
Most
whole
of them
day
are
of
in
shopping or
Japanese.
something,
Yeah,
it's hot outside or cold
exactly.
outside. Just chill, relax.
Just go in, sit for a while, and then boom, you pop out, and you're ready to walk. You're ready to go again. Because your feet, like my feet were killing me. We were walking all day, every day. The first 2 days you probably don't feel anything, but then the third day comes along and you're like, oh, my feet.
Not to change the topic too much, still kind of relevant, but we said like all day of shopping and stuff, and like maybe you're thinking of like shopping and carrying things. Yes, there is that, but at stations, which are relatively where a lot of stores are, there are lockers.
Yes.
There are lockers that you can have access to with your
coin lockers.
With your with some coins, like you have a pass. You know, if you have your train pass, whatever that is, your Pasmo, your Suica, you can use that as well. And you can go back and forth between shops and like store stuff in those lockers if you needed.
Yes.
So you're not walking
suitcases
around
and bags.
suitcases, bags, and spend your day, go back, pick everything else up, go to the internet cafe, chill out. Japan is really good with making this kind of stuff just work in that way. So you don't have to think that like, oh yeah, I spent all day shopping and there's no place to go and whatever that is, I have to get on the train for 2 hours to get back to my like you're fine. Like you have all sorts of things that can help you, where you can relax, store your stuff, etc. It's convenient.
Yeah,
most of the lockers
sizes.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Different sizes. Some of them are 24/7. You can like rent one today and then you can come back tomorrow and grab your stuff. You don't have to grab it the same day. So it depends on the time of the locker. So please check the locker. They're usually in English. I know I've put stuff in my locker and then they're like, yeah, you have 24 hours to grab your stuff. Then you go back. Maybe the morning after you grab your stuff, you go back.
I think there's usually like a ticket that prints out or something. Or hold on to that. Keep that with you just in case. If for whatever reason you go back and you can't access your locker, like your stuff's probably fine, but just keep that ticket.
It's a proof that it's yours. Exactly. But yeah, what we're saying, drinking in public, karaoke, internet cafes, that way you can do that. This is the interesting thing I want to talk about, clubs versus foreign clubs in Japan. So there's a thing in Japan which is, there's normal clubs that you can go to, and there'd be a lot of Japanese people, which is awesome, which is a lot of fun. You go in, you dance, you drink, you meet some people, awesome. But some people might be too intimidated, to do that. And that's why I recommended, as I said before, the foreign clubs. Basically, they're Japanese clubs which are directed for foreigners. In my opinion, they're fun, but not as fun. This is why, because you're not really putting yourself out there. You're going to something that's comfortable, and if you want to do that, then just go clubbing wherever you came from, right? Just go to Japan. Put yourself out there, meet people. Even you'll meet people who try to speak English. And one thing I've noticed, when Japanese people drink, their English is awesome. They just learn English from nowhere.
Confidence is
I've met people who are like fluent in English, and I'm like, what? Like how? And they're like, yeah, I lived in the US for like 6 years. Like, you should have spoken English a long time ago. What's going on? They're just too shy. The people are just too shy.
I forget the name of it, but there's like two names, and I think I learned this recently. I can't remember, but one is kind of like the voice that you use to suit, like to fit within society, right? And then there's your voice that's on the inside, and that voice is not how Japanese people express themselves. They don't use that to express themselves unless if they drink, and that's when like the truth and how they actually feel and like what they want to share actually comes out. So a lot of people might be intimidated to use English, out in the open, because I might get judged, or another Japanese person's going to be like, oh, that person's weird. They're like, they actually know that they're not whatever. Like there's all sorts of
Yeah, yeah.
stereotypes and stigmas and all that stuff. But yeah, if they have a couple drinks, they loosen up, they relax, and like Elia said, they might surprise you and speak really good English, or they might try to speak English more in general.
Yeah. But they just want to communicate. They just want to have fun. Just like you're going out to have fun, they're doing the same thing. So there's no reason to like be shy. And honestly, the best places to go, if we forget clubs, okay, let's go to something called stand-up bars. They're so good. Like there's a lot of them around Ueno, for example. Like there's a whole street where there's no sitting, you can't sit. So basically you stand with like tables, and usually they're cramped and they're tight. Maybe during the pandemic it's not such a good idea, but normally you go, you stand there, you drink your beer, boom, you have one beer, you go to the next one, and you just keep rotating, you know, you just like bar hopping, but Japanese style, I guess. In this way, usually beer and stuff is cheaper because they know people just popping in and out. So it's a great way just to drink. And if you're on a budget, perfect. It's a great place to go. But in general, you know, there are, I think, 4 districts in Japan, in Tokyo, which I would say are very nightlife oriented, which I think we can go through soon. But I would say, I'll just name the names and then we can go through them. Shibuya, Shinjuku, Roppongi, and Ginza, I think, are the 4 most popular. Of course, there are others, so don't jump on me like, hey, there's one more. Yeah, probably, yeah. But those are the 4 most like popular ones, right? I talked about Roppongi already, so we don't have to go through that. I know Diane might know a little about Ginza, but Ginza's, for people who don't know, is upscale, high fashion, like, you know, rich people usually are there.
There are more adults there compared to rich adults compared to like Shibuya, and you can tell the difference, the scenery, the people, the cleanliness, the loudness. And because I work at a karaoke bar in Ginza, it's been like a year. A lot of the customers are rich men, and then coming back to like being shy, and then after a few drinks they're more open. I think usually we already have pretty wild customers, but there are some where I'm just like, oh, this person's kind of hard to talk to, just gonna wait a little bit after a few drinks, and they really just boom, give me everything, their thoughts, opinions. They don't usually give those.
Definitely.
And this bar, our bar opens from about like 8-9 p.m. depending on the day, and then always closes around 4, 5, 6 a.m. depending on whoever's there, depending on the boss, depending on us. So it's like I work night shifts until first train pretty much, but there have been times where I don't make the first train because some of the customers stay until like 7 a.m. The latest I've been was there was 7. And then, but not only that, my first time in Roppongi, actually, one of the customers wanted the boss and I to go with them, this group, to Roppongi, and we were like, what? Okay, we're all already drunk a little bit. And I was so tired. By the time we got there, was like a taxi, and there was this club just open at this time. It was my first club in Roppongi. It was pretty empty because it was, you know, like 8 a.m.
It was
people
like
are still partying.
Work the next day kind of time.
It was.
There's one guy on the floor, sleeping.
Or many.
How cold? It's the owner. No, I'm kidding.
A lot of people do just like wherever they are, Shibuya, Ginza, wherever, they just migrate. They always end up in Roppongi for some reason.
Roppongi is
I haven't seen much, but I
be.
hear about it. I know that it's like the best city to club in. I don't go to club much. I was drunk when I said yes.
When I first moved to Tokyo, I'm gonna be completely honest, right? When I first moved to Tokyo, I was, how old? I was like 24-ish, something like that, right? I was a young lad, and I didn't know anyone. I went to Japan without knowing anyone. I had no friends. I had nothing. I got a job and I left, right? I knew nothing. The way I got my social, because I'm quite, I like to talk to people. I'm quite extroverted. So I couldn't do it at my job because I was the only English speaker. And that's why they hired me, because my skill sets in English and other stuff. So only the boss knew English, and usually boss and employee relations aren't usually like at companies, big companies. You're not really close with your boss because there's like a hierarchy system, whatever, right? But he was a great guy, super nice. And my job was close to Roppongi, so I used to go to Roppongi a lot, to the clubs, the bars, and I met a lot of people like that. And some people I still know today, and this has been how many years, right? It's great. Like you can meet so many people. It's always fun. You'll always meet someone you can talk to. And Roppongi is like such a down to earth place, in my opinion, right? I do want to say, watch out for the scammers. There's a lot of them there. They're not usually in Roppongi as much as in Shinjuku, but if they'll speak English to you. Usually they're foreigners. They'll be like, hey, you want to come to this club or this bar? Trust me, it doesn't matter how good it sounds. It doesn't matter what they provide you. They'll be like 10 free drinks and 3 whatever, right? Don't do it. It's always bad. Like they'll be like, you'll get this, but then everything you have to pay for like a seating charge, and the next drink is like 10,000 yen, and it's just a scam. I see a lot of police reports of people getting swindled by a lot of money. Don't do it. Just go to the normal places. Trust me, it's fine. it's okay. It's
There's
great.
also, if you don't want to be that person, to start making friends that way, because people aren't confident enough or too shy or whatever. I have one tip that's free. Meetup.
A free Diane tip.
All right, here you go. Not a dating. It's not a dating app, because I don't need that. I don't use that. It's called Meetup. I think the logo is like a red M, and I use this because like I didn't need it, but I think I had friends that told me to join some event, and I was like, okay, I have to I already hate downloading apps, and people told me I hate doing that. And signing up, I hate that. It's like one of my pet peeves. And I was like, fine, I'll do it for you guys. So I did it.
One of Diane's 1 million pet peeves, guys.
Downloading apps that I don't need and signing up.
Signing up? Oh my god.
I know, energy wasted. What?
How could we?
Yeah.
Honestly, not promoted. Great app. I've used it before.
Really nice.
For other things, not to meet people like investor stuff. I've done it before.
Yeah,
like
I was gonna mention like something educational too. So I think I've done a few things. Not like they do mostly have drinking nights, like pub nights, and it's mostly a mixture of Japanese people and foreigners. And they just I don't know, language exchange. So that's like doesn't cost money. Maybe you can meet at a cafe somewhere, at a park. I don't know, something public. Usually public.
And because of the pandemic, some people are even doing like Zoom calls in groups and stuff. And I mean, I think in person's a lot better, but if you're just looking for that language exchange in general, it's not.
Which was the first thing I did by myself, I think, was Japanese reading. Yeah, Japanese reading practice, like kanji. And I joined, but like I was the youngest person, literally like 50, 60 plus. I was like, wow. What am I doing here? I can't match this kanji level. What?
No.
It was like what was I thinking? But it was an experience. Yeah, it was an online Zoom thing. 5 to 6 people. Each person took turns trying to read. And I was the youngest one and slowest. I was like, wait, what are we doing? Everyone's already experts. Why are they here?
It's fine. Don't be intimidated. It's fine. Just go. Like people don't judge you. It's fine.
Imagine.
Yeah, the lady was nice. The lady was really, really nice.
You're just a couple of people in a room just trying to learn something, and then this young hotshot comes in and goes, "Wow, you're old!" Like, come on. Come on. No, I get it.
No,
but trust me, it's great. It's a great way. Like you can find something you're interested in, because I know a lot of people who are more on the nerdier side, maybe don't want to go clubbing or whatever, sure, that's fine. You can go to like board game nights with people and drink and have fun and talk to them, you know, or you can go to like, I know, when I lived in Fukuoka, there were a lot of like these like small communities where you used to like just introduce food, like culture and whatever, like so ever like this Spanish guy would bring whatever food he ate in his country, and this guy would bring whatever in that, you know, people just meet and talk and eat and drink and whatever. So there's a lot of stuff. Even if you're not nerdy or you don't want to go clubbing, there's something else you want to do, there's always something
there's
to do.
Literally everything. You type in your interests, there's art, there's painting things, there's like cheese and wine tasting, there's
I swear we're not
we're
not getting paid for this. It's just...
Hey,
maybe you could pay us.
Hey, meetup. I mean,
yeah.
Right?
If you want.
We've been talking about you for like 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
I mean, we could talk about you next episode too if you throw some. I'm just gonna say.
Right?
Anyway.
I joined a little boat meetup where like it was maximum 5 or 6 people. You paid money, but it was fun. One licensed boat driver.
I went to that one too.
Sailor,
Nice. I went
captain,
twice.
Sailor, I don't know.
Sailor, yeah. And then we just sailed across the globe. I'm just kidding.
Across the globe, one night.
It was the Tokyo
fun.
Bay. It was the Tokyo Bay.
Yeah.
But also, do you remember that one guy that told me there's one more place for more than these 4? I'm that guy. Akihabara. I totally forgot about Akihabara.
There you go.
Most people who go
Maid
to
cafes.
Japan, yes. Not only maid. We've talked about these things before. Like there's a billion types of cafes.
Figurine shops.
Yeah.
Many.
At night, all these figurine shops, which Rob loves, close.
Never been into any of them, unfortunately.
Sure, Rob. Sure
I don't have any figurines. I wish I did.
He owns one. Just saying. They close down. Most people, but the things that are open in Akihabara are cafes, maid cafes. For those of you who don't know what they are, quick rundown. Girls dressed in maids, giving you drinks, singing, dancing, boom. All right, that's what I can give you. Look them up online. You'll find a lot of them. If you don't like maids, you like ninjas, or maybe you like samurai, or you like there's a cafe for everyone.
And everything, yeah.
And everything, especially if you. Cafe. There is. I've been to one.
There's even like some out there that are dedicated for Japanese customers because they use foreigners as the waiting service.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Like there's the idea of like having like some like European butler or something, right?
Yeah.
So you'll have like it'll attract a bunch
especially
of like Japanese women to go in or something. Yeah, exactly. You know, they'll do
like
that.
If you're tall, blonde, and handsome, or you're dark, oily skin, like they'll be like, come work with us. You know, they'll want you to be there to get the clientele in.
It's also very expensive. The majority of them. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. There's always a seating charge. Always. And they take them by the hour usually. So every hour they'll add on a seating charge. So let's say it's 500 yen or 1,000 yen per hour to just be there. You're not drinking, you're not eating, just to be there, right? So please do remember that it will say seating charge. So yeah, they're not tricking you. It's the business model. That's how the business model works, right? Because the seating charge is basically you being there, interacting with the staff, like the maids or that's how they get paid.
Think of it as like you're tipping beforehand.
Yes.
American listeners.
There's no tipping here.
Because there is no tipping in Japan normally, but there's stuff like this that will add that extra charge, and that's what it's going to feel like, or that's how you're just going to have to like make that make sense in your head, like, oh, this is like for the workers, right? So
basically
there is no tipping in Japan.
No, please don't tip. We've talked about this before. Don't tip. It's rude. They don't like it. They'll give you the money back, and if you insist, they'll be like, no, because it's rude in their culture to tip.
It is. I've only seen like one single place ever. It was like a foreign pub though, so it doesn't count.
Probably,
where they had a tip jar, but like that was it.
Okay. Yeah.
leave
Yeah.
money if you want, or something like
Yeah.
that. And I was like, what?
Probably because a lot of people wanted to tip, so they're like, all right, just put this jar here, and if they really want to tip, I just put it in, I guess, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time my friend from the US came and he tipped. I had no idea. He just put the money in the the little book thing, and we left. The lady ran after. She's like, "You forgot your money." And we were like, "No, it's we." Yeah, he's like, "No, it's a
Yeah,
tip."
they
And she's like,
really don't see it that way. As a
"Yeah."
tip.
She's like,
You forgot your
"What?"
money.
Yeah, she's like,
Aw.
It's
That's
crazy.
funny.
One thing I do want to say is that if you don't like clubs, you don't like bars, there are other things. There's izakayas, right?
Mhm.
Yes,
These are
I wanted to talk about that too.
traditional Japanese bars, pubs. I don't know.
Bars, restaurants, all that mixed.
Yeah, it's basically a restaurant where you can drink and right, like a pub. Let's just say a pub, a Japanese pub, right?
Pretty much.
These are usually, most of them look nice inside. Like they're well furnished. They look quite nice. Not that expensive, honestly.
Yeah, almost all of them have a seating charge, but it's fine.
Yeah.
You still get a little
Yeah.
appetizer,
Because you get food for the
edamame.
money. Yeah.
chips.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. There's many things.
Yeah. In Japan, there's a welcome dish, basically. As soon as you sit down, they'll be like, here you go, boom, and they'll give you something to eat. Unfortunately, if you don't eat certain foods, you might not like what they give you, because sometimes it's meat, sometimes it's fish, and if
Sometimes
you're
it's raw
vegetarian or
fish.
you don't eat or something, you might not like it. But usually, it's very nice.
Maybe like a little seaweed salad,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
You know, something nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I did get fish once, and I said, "Oh, sorry, I don't eat fish." And the guy was like, "No problem." He took it and he was like, "Do you eat meat?" I was like, "Yes." And he cooked me up something real
Aw.
fast and gave it to me.
Wow.
So honestly,
Sweet.
yeah, they're really kind. They're really kind. So don't be afraid to be like, "Oh, sorry." Like, don't be rude. Like, hey, bitch, I don't eat. Like, you know, it's you don't have to do that.
It's just my first time here.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have to say that. You don't have to be rude, but you probably know.
Yeah.
But yes, what I do recommend you do at these izakayas is drink Japanese sake, right? Sake or shochu or like Japanese drinks in general. Why, you might ask, is because they're professionals. They know what drink goes with what. They know what sake tastes good. For me, I go in, I say I like usually dry, little fruity sake, and they'll be like, here you go, boom, and it's delicious. It's great. There's something for everyone. Also, it's really fun. You talk to the guys cooking the food. They talk to you back. They're usually called masters. Don't know why. I don't think they mean like master as in the master, but someone who owns the place, I guess. But yeah, it's great. It's great. I like it.
I like my favorite part about izakayas are the wide selection, the variety of food,
Yeah.
small dishes, and because like I have a small stomach and I get full fast, but I love to eat, so that sucks for me. I have a big problem. I love to just order many little small dishes and just try everything. And of course, I can't do that by myself. I need people there to finish my food for me. It's great.
Well, even if I'm
When
not
you
there,
get it, Elia, you too.
the general idea of like izakayas and stuff, it's not so much as it is in the West. When you're at a restaurant and you order food, you're ordering your dish, right? You're ordering your hamburger, your pasta.
This is mine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, some people share anyway, and other cultures are different. They do their own thing. But in Japan, with izakayas, you're there with a group of people, and you're ordering a bunch of food, and this food is meant to be shared with everyone. You're getting a plate with like 4 kebabs on it. You're giving everyone a kebab. You know what I mean? That's usually kind of the idea. You're ordering a bunch of food, you're splitting it, so everyone gets to try a little bit of something. You're drinking on the side. It's just an overall like good time of just chit-chatting and trying out stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I do want to tell the people about the time we ate at the izakaya in Hiroshima at the the
The
hotel.
Capsule Hotel one?
Yeah.
I miss that place.
It was brand new, right? So this hotel had just opened like 2 months before we went there, and that izakaya they opened in the building was like weeks before we just entered. It was super brand new, And we were there, we were eating, we were having fun, we're drinking a lot. And so the ladies all left, so Rob and I stayed. And they were super, like, they were like, oh, we're trying this optional menu. Do you want to try it? And we're like, sure. They just start bringing out food. Like, they were like, here's this, try that, try this. And Rob and I were just eating and drinking. They're giving us free food, free drinks, and blah, blah. And I was like, dude, if this is not free, we have to, like, we have to donate.
We're going to have to, like, rob a bank. Or, like, we're leaving tonight kind of thing.
Yeah, we're flying back home because, dude, this is crazy. Like, we're 2 people and we had 2 tables filled with food. Like, it was crazy. It was
yeah, they put
insane.
like 2 tables together for us, I think.
Yeah.
Because we had 4 and we all had kind of like our own like space and stuff. And they weren't like
and
huge
like, here's
tables.
food. Yeah. But yeah, just normal, like, 2-person tables. They put them together, so it's a 4-person table, whatever, right? They're like, here, try this, and oh, do you eat this? Do you like that? And we were like, wow. And all the people were looking at us. They thought like we were big spenders or something, but not really. We were just everything was free. So when we were like, okay, it's time. Like, dude, we've been eating here for like 3 hours. I'm full. I'm gonna die. I have to go. Right? It was like 3 a.m. I don't know what time it was.
Witching hour.
And he was like, yeah, and he's like, yeah. He's like, here you go. You have to pay this much. And I was like, this is so cheap. It was like nothing. It was like, we've been eating and drinking for hours, and I think we paid like a couple thousand yen per person, because everything was basically free.
Yeah.
And you see, just an interesting thing happened. Things can happen at izakayas, especially if you're a foreigner, because they want to see what the clientele might like or might not like, or they might be interested in your culture or your language, or this doesn't only have to be drunk. Yeah, exactly. that too
Usually too loud.
we were also like very lucky that this was like a brand new place and that they were trying stuff out, and we were like a very unique group of people to walk in and try all this stuff out. Like, we got it was just like the right timing for once with something like that. It was nice. So it could happen to you if you explore enough and try out things. So,
Yeah.
Didn't they give like some really cool like garlic bread or something?
Yes. They gave me the recipe too.
Yeah. Did they really?
Yeah, they gave me the recipe. Are you talking about the potato bread, the garlic thing? Yeah.
It was like a garlic bread with like potato salad on it.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like a baguette, which is sliced, like horizontal or whatever. And then they put it's a garlic bread with like potato salad on. I was skeptical when I first saw it, but was it good? Dude, it was delicious.
So nice.
Why would you always talk about food? Okay.
It's like the best thing in the world. That's why we live.
Also, it's like Japan is like really well known for its food. You will find some of the best food in the world in Japan, I think. I haven't been all over the world. I know everyone has their own special like things in their culture and stuff, but Japan takes things from other people's cultures and usually does it right, except for pizza. But for the most part, they're pretty spot on with a lot of stuff that they try and do. It's impressive.
Definitely. Definitely. And I was so impressed by that potato salad baguette garlic thingy. I was like, how do you make this? And the dude sat down and was going through step by step on how to make this dish.
So nice.
And I was like, dude, and I even made it at home. Very good.
Okay.
It was delicious.
Well, that's what you're making us when you come back.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty excited for it.
It was great. It was great. There was something I wanted to say about izakayas. Oh, there's 2 types of seatings in izakayas. Well, I would say 3, but there's 2 main seating types. One, you're at the bar, basically, where they cook the food and they serve you. So that's a very intimate experience, right? You're usually sitting next to other people, not too many, but if you sit at the bar, usually people are more talkative and they want to talk to you. So get ready for that. And another thing is you can sit in these like in a room with sliding doors, right? It's a private room on the side with sliding doors where you can sit down. Usually a group of people. Like if you come with a group of people, you sit there, right? But a lot of people are like, but I don't know anyone in Japan. Where'd I go? Go to izakayas. Go sit at the bar. Trust me, it's great. You'll meet a lot of people. You'll eat good food. You'll have a great time. Definitely. You'll be great.
And then, were you gonna mention that cool seating next? Where are you sitting in the? How do I say this? Sitting
Yeah,
in the
yeah. You're sitting in the ground. Okay. No. So basically, what they do.
Yeah.
Your
So,
legs are just in the ground. You're in a hole in the ground. It doesn't sound nice. I can't
so
explain it.
so basically, you're not in a hole. They're not burying you alive. Okay. What they're doing is, Japanese people sit on the floor. It's pretty normal, right? On cushions, it's comfortable. But a lot of people, their legs get tired or their backs get tired or whatever, right? So the new system, what they're doing is they make like a hole down, basically like this, and then the table. So your legs are dangling down, but you're sitting at the table, but you're still on the floor. You know what I mean? So there's a floor, and then there's another floor here where your legs
You're
are dangling down.
in the floor.
Yeah.
On cushion.
There's like a
It sounds weird.
Yeah.
It's a pit. Basically, it's a pit they put a table in where your legs dangle in. Okay, but that's pretty normal. For me, I hate sitting on my legs, especially the Japanese way where you have to sit on your legs. It just hurts after like 2 minutes. Like, I don't know how people do
That's
it.
comfortable for me.
Well,
You mean crisscross or like just?
No,
like,
sitting on your. When you put your your feet
like
under your butt.
on your knees,
Oh,
on your legs,
love
your knee,
doing that.
whatever. The crisscross.
It's
thing
not
too.
comfortable. For most
Maybe because
normal
I'm
people,
short
it's not
legs
comfortable.
and-
It hurts.
Can't do that
Why does it?
anymore. I used to be able to when I was younger. Crisscross and the sitting on your legs thing, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't. It's a
crisscross is fine.
Yeah. Well, for me, I can do it, but my legs fall asleep.
Hookah bars. Yeah.
I feel like I might have the most experience here with that. I'm not sure.
Well,
But I
talking
did
with the
love-
Arab, I don't think so, but sure. Yeah, go ahead.
In Japan. Actually
Yeah.
started in Japan anyway.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
first time was in Japan, and I usually go to Shibuya for that. A specific chain called Chillin. They have like 6 or 7 locations by now. They keep
Whoa.
opening up. They have one. They just opened one in Akihabara, the new one.
Not sponsored.
Through the interior. Interior is so nice. The staff is so nice.
Not sponsored.
And it's so relaxing. Most of them, they have like couches and stuff, little tables, and the hookahs on top, or not on the bottom. Sorry, bottom. And then you can bring your own drinks, bring your own food. They provide water and tea for free, though. I think hot and or cold. But for food, there's rules with that. You can't have smelly food. So like McDonald's, Taco Bell. I've seen someone get their Taco Bell rejected. You can't have McDonald's. You can't have hot cup ramen, but you can have like a sandwich, cookies, chips, whatever. Because I've had all that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's and also one of the things you can do when you miss your last train, because at least the ones I've been to, they open till 4 or 5 a.m. And people just stay and relax.
And they're
chill.
super chill. Like they're super chill. Like it's really nice place just to hang out. Just
You
to
can
talk
accidentally
with
fall
people.
asleep because you're on like comfortable couches.
Yeah. If you don't like smoke, stuff like that, but probably not the place for you. Also, some of you might be like, what? What do you mean hookah bars? In Japan, smoking inside in some places is allowed. The only rule they have to have is they have to have a ventilation, like a big air condition in every area, like around the place. So that's why people smoke inside in some places. It's pretty normal.
In many establishments, including restaurants and izakayas, there are smoking sections. People hang out, they eat their food, they smoke, whatever that is. It is separated. You might still smell it. There's other places too, such as train stations. They will have smoking rooms with ventilation and stuff like that for people to go in and smoke. There is a lot of smoking and drinking in Japan, so it's a thing.
I must say these ventilation rooms are really good. Like they're ventilated really well. Some of them not so much, but most of them, like if you go to an izakaya or you go to a bar or whatever, they'll ask you, a restaurant, they'll ask you beforehand, smoking or non-smoking. And you can be like non-smoking and boom, you're done. Or you're like, if you smoke, you can go there. And if you're in a group where you're the only person who smoked, for example, you can always switch, go there and then come back. It's not that far. You'll be fine. Hookah bars are there's no non-smoking area. It's a hookah bar.
It's for the purpose of smoking.
Shisha in Japanese. It
it's
doesn't
Arabic.
reek of tobacco though, like cigarette. It doesn't reek of cigarettes. It's just like different fruits and stuff in the air.
You were saying a lot of different flavors and stuff.
Yeah, they have a whole list, and you mix. Like you have a choice to mix between up to 2 flavors per thing. Hookah? Okay.
Yes.
I think
in Arabic we say shisha or arbila, depends where you're from. And usually the tobacco or whatever on top is the one that has a taste in it, right? So the most common ones are fruits, apples, grapes, whatever, right? Nowadays people are getting inventive. There's bubblegum and there's
lemongrass, tea,
Coca-Cola, whatever, right?
Red
so just
wine.
get whatever you think. Yeah, just get what you think is good for you. My recommendation is mint and grapes. Very good. You mix those two together, you have a wonderful night. I think it's refreshing when you smoke it. Don't smoke, kids, it's bad for you. But if you do decide to,
it's just an occasional social thing. I don't do it all the time.
Yeah. You don't have to smoke if you go to
a few
Hookah
times
Bar.
a year.
Yeah, just once a day, maximum twice a day.
You keep changing it. This is getting worse.
What?
We've killed our young audience already.
No, but trust me. I just do want to say, for people who don't know,
they card
shisha
you, by the
or
way.
hookah, they do card you. Yes,
at
they
least
do
18
card
years
you.
old.
Yeah.
Yes. Please, make sure your lungs are okay, because shisha and hookah is quite dangerous, just as smoking cigarettes and tobacco
You do
or
it
whatever.
a lot, yeah.
Right? And if you smoke alone, one whole shisha thing, that's like a pack of cigarettes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's like 16
careful.
cigarettes in one go. Like you don't want that by yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Usually I'll give you a tip from a native. Don't pull the smoke all the way in, just do this mouth smoking thing, where you just bring it out. It's social if you don't really want to. That's what I do when I start smoking. Like if it's a longer period, like you're there for a couple hours, make sure your lungs are okay. I do want to say there's a lot to do in Japan in nightlife. A lot, right? The things we've talked about is just the surface. There's so much more you can do. House parties, I just want to say, not very common. People don't usually have house parties in Japan. People don't usually invite each other over in Japan. It's not very common.
Honestly, the only ones I've been to are foreigners.
Yeah. The whole home invitation thing is not common, because going out is not very expensive. So buying food and preparing food at home takes more time and money than actually saying, hey, let's go out to eat everyone together at a whatever restaurant, right?
Japan also has a very big gift culture too. So if you invite someone over, they might think oh, I also have to get them a gift because they invite you into their home. And it's in America and other places in the world, it's a lot more casual than that. Usually you might bring some drinks, you might bring some snacks. Some people will do that and they'll even go a little beyond, and you're kind of like, why? You're just coming over to drink and talk. You know what I mean? So it's not super
nice, but not necessary.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I mean, when we invite guests and they give all these things, we're like, no, it's okay.
Right. Yeah.
It's fine. You don't have to bring all this.
It's like, I brought these really fancy chocolates for you guys. Cool. We can have them in the for our party. And they're like, no, it's for you. It's like, we're gonna have them in the party now, because that's not what it's anyway.
Usually in foreign, I don't know, in Western culture, people bring stuff, you use it directly, right? In Japan, the gifts they give you are for you personally, so it's rude, I don't know, to give it out, but not really, but still,
it depends.
Just
yeah.
It depends on the person and the whatever,
how well
right?
you know them. All right, so thank you everyone for tuning into this episode of our podcast. We talked about nightlife, as you can tell. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you very much. I would appreciate if you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and also leave a comment down below with any questions that you have or any comments you have about our talk. There, of course, is more that we could probably get into more detail. So if there's something that you're interested in, we could possibly share more stories or more insight about those things. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Catch you next time.
Bye.